Welcome back, Raw Reviewers, to another Raw Review. And what are we Raw Reviewing this time? Well, we're going to be looking at the combinations with the Q-Rex Megazord, which means we're basically going to be looking at its official combination with the Legendary Megazord, as well as its combinations, its official combinations with the Turbo Falcon. So let us get started, shall we? So maybe I can find the damn switch to turn this turntable off. There it is. So going right to the instructions so we can do what the official transformation is. The official combination is, of course, the rather, what would be the right term? Simple, maybe, would be the term. I guess simple is the best term. The most simple combination, I guess, is to combine it with the Legendary Megazord. And the Legendary Megazord's combination is a rather simple arm swap, basically. You basically just pop the arms off and put them on with the Legendary Megazord. The how it's used in the show, or at least one version of how it's used in the show. So we set him off to the side, pop him up here, pull off his arms, both of them. Pop one arm there, one arm there, and that's pretty much the entire transformation right there. Pop the arms off and you stick them on there. Now there is a combination that does involve the Turbo Falcon here, which basically involves essentially ripping off this thing apart and using its legs for the legs of the Legendary Megazord here. So we'll do that. And really all it is I'm going to show you. Man, does this thing not want to connect in there. There we go. Got one leg in. Oh my good lord, that was tricky. And that's the official combination. I don't think this was ever in the show. I mean, I guess technically parts of it were in the show, because you then pull down the torso and you attach the torso component and you get the final Kazan Gokayo. So I guess kind of sort of as an official combination. Let's see here. We need to fold up this arm, we need to put it forward. That is some stiff joints. Those stay down at the bottom. Pull off the swords. This becomes the crest on the helmet, with the swords pegged in. That just goes, pop off the helmet, pop this down. And there you go. Kazan Gokayo, Final Form, Legendary Megazord, Ultrazord, however you want to put it. But there it is, the combo, which is the official combo of the three. So we'll start at the turntable again. it's too heavy for my turntable. Keep having to assist it with a finger. Anyway, that's an official combo between the Q-Rex and the Turbo Falcon. And you, of course, can do any other combos you want, but that's pretty much the only official combo they have listed. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. The instructions are a bit obtuse, so I'm not going to read too deep into them. There's our only official combination. There's a combination that just involves the Turbo Falcon, where it basically just sits on the pegs. But that's basically no different than the Wild Force Rider mode, so I'm not going to really show that, because literally you take this entire thing assembled and peg it into the base. Which I guess I should at least show for completeness sake. I will say this though, that these combos are a lot better, a lot more show accurate, because it actually involves limb swapping instead of pegging stuff onto generic parts. So it's more show accurate, and it's definitely very nice results. Just give me a moment to reassemble the Turbo Falcon. The Turbo Falcon hates being reassembled. There we go. Click those on. Technically you should leave the hand on, but I'm going to leave the hand off because you're really not going to see the back of this thing. 2 pegs on the top, 2 Zord builder ports on the bottom. Peg it right in there. And there's the rider mode. I know in the show that this is supposed to go up here in the final form, but it's not actually clearly labeled, or I can't clearly read it in the instructions, so we'll give that one another shot. Actually, we won't. No, whatever, we'll see. Might as well cover all the combinations while I'm here. So, tear this thing apart. That folds down like that. That folds down like that. There's a little peg here and a little peg hole here. Stick them together. Bring down the part here, tear it out. Or at least I like to tear it out. Fold these out, fold these out. Tear that apart. Holy madre! These ports do not like to play with each other. Love Peter Jackson. That is way too hard. Especially considering this is a toy intended for children. Oh boy. And I feel like we're still missing something. But there really isn't any parts left. There's the helmet here. There's the front of the chest there. There's the sub leg. There's the hauler leg. Jet. Car. Racer. Maybe there's a way of sticking this in here, but I'm not seeing an easy way of pulling that off. So if there is, I'm not seeing it. there's pretty much as close as I can get with the official combination without figuring out what I'm doing wrong here. So that's in there. You end up with a bunch of parts. You end up with most of this thing still intact. But since there's so many Zord Builder ports, that's the entire fun of why we have these videos, is so we can mix and match. So let's mix and match and see what we can do. Well, they've got a huge torso here, so I'm not sure if we're going to do much. We're going to be able to do much with that. But let's take it out of Zord mode, so we have just the base plate. What can we do? What can we do? Basically substitute it in there, but doesn't seem like that'd be much use. Put a giant foot on the top. We can do... What can we do with this block? Probably not much, if anything. I don't see any good ports on the back that could be used. It'd be too heavy to put really anywhere else. But we can certainly work with this. But where are we going to work with it? This is too huge to really put anything up at the top. The hand is really in the way. Really, once you're in this form, there really isn't a lot of room to put anything else anywhere. It's kind of a bummer. Because there's just too much kibble in every place where you have a Zord Builder port to add something. However, you can do some mixing and matching, and something I don't think it was ever actually used in Gokaiger, even though technically you should have the capability to do it. Yellow. Let's move him off to the side. Starting to see what I'm planning? Well, you have no idea what I'm planning. See, I told you I had no idea what I was planning. Actually hold it. I think I just have some weak joints in some of these, but not all of them. It's kind of annoying. There we have the old Lightspeed one. You can use these as skis like Tokyo does. We've still got this completely unused, but I think I have a perfect spot for it. We'll use it as shoulder armor. Like little pauldrons. Put the fist away, do the same thing over on this side. Tilt it up a bit, tilt that up a bit. Something like that. We still have this block piece, which really doesn't have any Zord Builder ports on it, so we really can't do too much with it. There's nowhere really to secure it anywhere. There's none of those clip pegs in here to use it with, so it's pretty much useless. We also have this, which we pretty much can't use. We have the helmet here, which we can't use, but we do have a head hidden in here, so we might as well pull that out. And there we go. 2 full combinations. We move my turntable out of the way. Probably design-wise, the best looking one would be just simply, but on their own, like I was saying before, now that we were looking at the combinations, how would I grade these combinations? I'd say these are pretty grade A combinations. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do with them, official and unofficial. They look just like in the show, minus, the Zord Builder ports all over the place. There's really nothing nothing to complain about. They're really well designed. You get, the official combination. He looks great. He looks just like he is in the show. Maybe scales a bit differently. You can do all kinds of fun combinations with these things. As you can see while I'm putting together, it's going to cost you less than the import. So I say go for it. Now continue doing a few more weird combinations for a few more minutes here on screen. Wow, that does not want to go in there. I feel like I'm making Dow Geigar now. Dow Geigar. Now here's a fun thing if we can pull it off. If you rotate these all the way around, you actually have sword builder ports hanging down here, so you can do something like Gabutira. So, we can do, it's going to be kind of tricky. Pop the fist out. And you still have a little bit of extra room. Maybe just like that would work well as some nice shoulder armor to cover up the Zord builder ports. There you go, alternate Q-Rex Megazord. And the fun thing is, because of the way these legs are built, you can still put them into the traditional, you can put them in the Q-Rex-ish pose. And in fact, when you put them in the Q-Rex pose, these arms I'm using as shoulder armor actually work relatively well. If you fold up the ports in his back, see how these fold in and out, up and down? You take the Rex arms and attach them here and here. They're sort of like arms reaching over the back. Or you can do blasters or whatever you want. You really obviously can't do too much with the head. You still have this wing, this wheel kibble. But, you have to say, Zord Builder certainly gives you more options. And of course, that's only with these two combinations. If I were to pull out all my Zords, which I will do after pressing pause, and put some other combinations together, you can get some really fun stuff out of Zord. So I definitely say the US release of those two, of the Q-Rex, the Turbo Falcon, definitely worthwhile. Just those two alone can make some great combinations. You can combine them with this. So basically all the three main Megazords have great combo possibilities. As I said before, I didn't like any of the auxiliary Zords in Gokaiger either. They were just really underwhelming with what you could do, which you can check in, my playlist for raw reviews. You'll see how I really didn't like either one of them. But I will be right back with some more Zord parts. Be right back. And we are back. And what are we back with? Well, we're back with the Red Lion. So let's disassemble him into his component parts. One front leg, one side leg, head, tail that also serves as a sword, back legs, helmet, I'm trying to peg the crest into the top. Won't sit up there, unfortunately. But if we stand him up, we should be able to get him to hold the samurai sword. The Rekadai Santo, the giant fire smasher, whatever you may want to call it. There we go. have Zord builder ports, so we can certainly add extra armor up here. We still have Zord builder ports all over the back. We can do other interesting combinations. We have now 2 functional leg pieces, so we could probably start building a third Zord. Go like that. We have the Zeo Zord. Disassemble it into pieces. Yes, in my move I lost one of the pieces there. I also lost one of the pieces of my red line, one of the back legs. Lots and lots of parts. What can we do with all these parts? Well, who knows what we can do with all these parts. But we certainly have enough of them to do something. So I will pause the video and be right back with some combo. Be right back. And we are back. And what combo have we come up with? Well, I still have a bunch of parts left over. However, look at that. We've added a wing pack, a jet pack, using the Zeo Zord, parts of the Mystic Zord, parts of the SPD Zord. So now he really is more like Gao Gai Gar. Plus he's got the Rekka Dai Santo. And of course the parts we have left over are all of these. Could probably actually add the Mystic Dragon Zord's claws up at the top to cover up a Zord port or 2. I mean, I'm still coming up with ideas on what I can combine. So yes, definitely. You can see all these combinations. You know, the official combinations really disappointed me in terms of what they could do and what they couldn't do. But there's certainly a lot that can be done with the parts that we have here. Lots of strange combinations, lots of fun combinations. For example, I can take the fronts of the Zeo Zord, plug them into these hip joints, and now the Q-Rex has got some hip cannons. And when they're not in use, they can just be folded down, or folded up, however you would like. Kind of like them like that, myself. I just took them off of the backpack, and now it actually does look more like a jetpack. So, you know, there's a lot of potential with Zord Builder. I am certainly enjoying it. I certainly see a lot of potential in it. And while some of the official combinations may be underwhelming, there are some really unofficial combinations that you can get some nice stuff out. I mean, you still have articulation here. Still have articulation here. And really, like I've said before, the 3 main Zords themselves have great combo possibilities. So if you needed, you know, more convincing, I'd say go for the domestic imports. Of course, I'll have the domestics. I'll have the imports up, of course, at a later date, and I'll talk all about them and their pros and their cons. But honestly, there's no reason not to get the Q-Rex and the Turbo Falcon. And if you don't mind going with unofficial combinations, you can make some really nice looking ones, such as these guys. So see you next time, everybody, on Toku Nation for another Raw review in the near future. Peace out.